welcome to the Aircheck Room. It's if you know what an aircheck is, you know what this is. If you know what a room is, you'll get a better handle on it. With me today, Nails Mahoney, I have Dusty Rhodes, I have Tracey Lee, and I have cousin Vinny in Montreal. Shall we, ladies and gentlemen, listen to our first link and see what we think of it? Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest. Reading these, it's making my mouth water. The State Fair of Texas announces the 2022 food semifinalist. It's Carter, and you can check it out on my blog, 1029now.com. Every time you come around.
Wow, that's quick, eh? Did you all hear? Did you all? That's it. That is Carter from. He's now 1029 in Dallas. Yes.
Was that the link in its entirety? Was that actually how he started, or did you just fade up halfway through the link? That's
the link. And I'd like to ask Vinny, if you don't mind, first of all, because Vinny, you're the closest to Texas there. I know Montreal isn't exactly next door, but you're on the same landmass. You hear a lot of more North American radio in its natural environment than we do, right? We're listening to it online. You turn on FM and you get Montreal, you get whatever. What kind of a break? We call them links. What kind of a talk break does that stand out as to you? What do you think of it? Do you like those?
Yeah, they're okay. I mean, they're short little live cells right in between the songs. I think he had good energy. It was a little quick though, and I've been told I was quick early on in my career, and I was always told to just take a little breather. I know he had that was an Ed Sheeran song. I think he had 9 seconds there to get to the punch. I know he got the formatics in. I know he mentioned the blog, but I would have liked if he just slowed down just a little bit. Has a good sound though. He sounds polished and he sounds professional.
Yeah, I agree. And considering I know nothing about this guy Carter, he's probably a legend in Dallas for all I know. I should have done that research, but I want to go in blind. I want to go in deaf, not knowing these. Young Dusty there, you were shaking your head.
I just agree with Vinny, and it's one thing that I was told, especially when I was growing up with top 40 CHR formats, because it's all quick, get it in, get out, say as much as you can in as short time as possible. There is a point where, you just can't be heard, or what exactly did he say? So he might have gotten a lot into that sentence, but nobody heard a thing. Do you know that kind of a way? It's kind of like, somebody just walks up and taps you on the shoulder when you're walking down the street, and they go, 1099, blah, 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 your chance to win it, check it out, and they're gone. And you go,
well, Tracey, we're always telling people it's important that your listener remembers what you said, right? Did you?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
That was too quick. It was warm, it was smooth, it was friendly. I got the vibes from it, but it was too quick.
Well, there's the thing as well.
There's word economy, but that was like very, I didn't remember. Don't
we always just say, well, listen, is one of the things we say, it's not always what you say, it's how you make someone feel. So you said you felt the vibes though, right? You felt kind of...
Yeah, he was warm and smooth, and but he was fast talking. He needed to, as Vinny said, slow it down a little bit.
It could be a bit of nerves too. I know there's that excitement, that adrenaline runs really, really quick, right? When you jump on the air. And I think over time, you just learn how to control it, hopefully. I think you just need to, take a little step back. And like you guys all said, I didn't recall anything. Carter and Ed Sheeran, that's it. Nothing else.
Would it be possible to listen to the link again?
Of course
I was going to say that.
Absolutely, mate.
Let's listen this time.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest. Reading these, it's making my mouth water. The State Fair of Texas announces the 2022 food semifinalist. It's Carter, and you can check it out on my blog, 1029now.com. Every time you come around.
There we go.
Okay, he is assuming that people know what he is talking about, and maybe they do, but then the other thing is it's usually ID the station on the way in and on the way out. And the one thing I like about IDing the station on the way in is like, hey, human being about to say words. Sunshine 101 or whatever it happens to be. So oh, hang on, there's somebody here, and then it's like after the first second and the second and a half, they hear what it is you're saying. He just came in straight away. He could have made that link shorter by saying, or not necessarily shorter, but just taking out, I don't know, he made a personal comment about what he thinks or feels or something like that.
Yeah.
If he'd taken that out, it would have left space for the rest of what he had to say, and he could have said it a little slow.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I had no idea what he was talking about right off the bat when he said I'm going to be honest, and he said his comment, he said his feedback, and just I was always told you're talking to a new listener every time you crack the mic, and you have to try to, like you guys were mentioning before, retain something. And if you can just have that one element that you can retain, then you've done your job, at least when you have a short talk break like that.
So
it's not easy.
He said the State Fair, so I'm guessing the State Fair is a big deal there. Yeah, that's what I call it. I call it State Fair. And here's the other thing I remember learning about local radio, and this in Dallas is still local, right? Dallas-Fort Worth, it's still local, is if somebody outside the area can understand it, then maybe you're doing something wrong. It should be so local that only people in that area get what you're saying. So it'd be like the Calgary Stampede. If you just mentioned the Stampede, people outside Calgary might not know what you're talking about, but everybody in Calgary grew up with it, so they know what it is. I'm just guessing that one. But yeah, so overall, energy's good.
Yeah, good energy.
Good, and he kept it really tight. Yeah.
Second time listening around, confidence.
Okay. All right.
Polished.
Okay, that's number one.
What do you think, Nails?
Yeah, I agree with everybody. That's number one, now 102.9 in Dallas. Well, Dusty, you've been to Auckland, New Zealand, correct?
I have, briefly.
I'm not saying you're an expert on Auckland, but you're the only one I think of it. Vinny, have you ever been to Auckland?
Hell no.
Tracy, you haven't either, neither have I. So, Dusty, you might have an in on this one. This is the More FM breakfast show in Auckland. The link is slightly longer. It's a triple header show. Let's have a listen. It's the Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club. Wow. I don't know if you guys saw the big meteorite yesterday, if you live in the North Island. Apparently it was seeing from like Wellington and also Hamilton as well.
This is one of those things where I feel like I really wish I'd seen it. I didn't get to see it, but I had family members that saw it, and they said the bang was the big thing, the big bangs that they heard yesterday afternoon. Out of nowhere, on sort of a cloudy day.
It was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If you do want to see this, you can text the word video to 559. I imagine it would have been quite scary seeing this.
Well, I guess a lot of people didn't know what it was, and the angle it was coming at wasn't sort of usually, in the past when we'd see a shooting star at night time, it goes across the sky. This was coming straight down to Earth when you see the video.
Yeah.
You realise the angle of it sort of would suggest that it was coming to hit a house nearby.
Pretty alarming.
Oh, yeah, right. And like thousands of people witnessed this and saw it. And JJ and Vinny caught up with somebody yesterday who saw it themselves.
Honestly, it was a split second in the sky. It looked like a fireball, but in a straight line heading towards the ground.
Well, I didn't hear it. We were shifting cows, and we just looked up. I was with another fellow, and we sort of looked up, and it just shot straight down over top of us. And weirdest thing I've ever seen, but it was so fast. It was gone probably barely in a second and a half. It was gone. From where we saw it, sort of looked like it maybe, I don't know, broke up into a couple of bits sort of thing. There was a bit of a flash, and then it carried on, and then there was another flash. So,
well, that's the question I have, because it looks very sizable. So even if it broke into a few pieces, where are those pieces now? Does anyone have anything in the backyard?
Yeah, well, you see, without alarming small persons, this is highly unlikely. But, it has happened on Earth where huge asteroids have hit the Earth and largely result in the death of the dinosaurs around the world. And
Armageddon, the movie, Bruce Willis.
Yeah, I know.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, Bruce is always there somewhere.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, someone who I did see on the news last night talking about this from the Otago Museum, he's the director there, Dr. Ian Griffin. We need to get him on because I've got so many questions. Like, if you did find some of this, well, now that it's hit land, I think it's a meteorite. No, meteors when it's flying, it's a meteorite once it hits the ground.
Right, and to confirm, we could actually ask Dr. Ian Griffin as well.
Why don't we ask the expert?
Sure. Anyway, we'll ask him about that next, because we've got him on, we'll call him.
5 nights, 5K.
There you go. A little longer, obviously. Vinny, do you do long breaks in your morning show?
Okay, we do about 2.5, 3 minutes.
That was 2:40 in total. So yeah,
2:40. It felt a little long toward the end there, in my opinion. And I think at the beginning, honestly, I didn't find it bad at all. But what I did, my observation right off the top is make the listener feel more inclusive right off the bat. Ask 2-3 questions. Did you see the meteorite from where you live? Were you able to catch a glimpse of it? If you did, I'd love to hear from you, and then maybe go into discussing about it. I like how they had the sound bites, though, from people who did see that, because I was saying to myself, they're not painting a picture yet. I'm trying to visualize what they're talking about, but then they went into the callers, which I thought was very helpful. and that was well done. So that's my take on it.
Tracy, for Dusty, I'm going to make you wait, Dusty. You're bursting there. Tracy, what do you reckon?
I don't agree with Vinny.
One of the things I like about Australia and New Zealand that they do differently from the rest of the world with their breakfast shows, especially, and any kind of like multiple headers, is they're very good at the fly on the wall approach, where you're just listening in as the fly on the wall, and they're not talking directly to me. So I'm hearing the conversation in the background, and I don't feel intimidated then, because sometimes I feel when there's a multiple show and they talk directly to me, it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. These guys had a nice pace. The girls seemed to be the anchor, and they did include the listener with the conversations on the phone. So overall, I thought it was nice. I like that kind of pace.
So you're saying you don't
chemistry.
You're glad they didn't go, did you see it? Text us now 12345 and let us know what you thought. That kind of thing. You're glad they didn't do that. Is that it?
Yeah. Just they do it well, that side of the world.
Well,
and they've got good chemistry as well. It was nice conversational.
Yeah, those guys are all veterans. They've been at it a while. Young Dusty, you go on, off you go. Let it rip.
I'm just going to reiterate what Tracey Lee said, and that they didn't say, did you see the meteorite last night? It was awesome. Text us and tell us what you thought. Normally, it's just, you hear that all the time.
That's true.
And what I thought was really nice was, he had said, did you see it? Oh my God, it was amazing. And then she went, no, I missed it.
That's right.
He's got a little bit. And then they go into the callers, and it's callers, listeners who are actually, they're there and then, and they're saying, yeah, man, it was that, man, it was this, and it frightened the shit out of cows. Oh my God. All that kind of stuff. But it wandered at the end. Vinny's absolutely right. It wandered, and it's kind of like, well, where are we going? How are we going to finish?
There was no out cue.
He did his finish in the middle of the link.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He said, if you want to see it, text video to
yes, you're dead right.
That would have been the outro.
Here's the thing. I listened to about an hour and a half of that morning show, and I just picked that one at random for no particular reason at all. And every time they open the mic, they've got brand new content. Brand new. So they did about 5 or 6 different topics leading up to that one, and this was the latest one. And after this, they did a brand new topic, a whole new discussion about something. So they're always changing it up, which I thought was interesting. I haven't heard that done so much for, for morning shows. You've done mornings, I've done mornings. We've all done mornings here. We're all ex-mornings and current morning people. You kind of keep a theme going for 20 minutes, whatever it is you decide to go, just to build up a bit of momentum. These guys didn't at all. It was just next.
It's funny you mentioned that. We've been having conversations recently with our morning show about keeping a topic even longer. We would do it, like you said, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and now we're I don't know if I agree with it necessarily, but do a topic, maybe cut to entertainment, and then do the same topic again, cut again, and then bring it back.
Wow!
Because you have different listeners all over.
But isn't that a thing now? That new format, that's not new format, but it's a new style of interactive music radio in Canada. There's been lots with the Now format and the Today format, where we pick a topic and we discuss it with the listeners, and then we pick a new one the next hour. That seems to be doing and that's 20, like in all day parts. That seems to be quite a thing now. More interaction with the listeners.
That's it. Try to get more voices on as much as you can.
Yeah, just discussion radio. I like that.
If it's done well, I like it.
I think that's because we've more podcasts now, and I think radio is tying into that whole kind of format now as well.
We're clinging to whatever wreckage we can cling to. Podcasts, let's do podcasts. Let's go with that one. They seem to be doing okay. So what do we think of the More FM Breakfast Club overall? We like it? We didn't like it? We thought it was okay? What do we think?
I like their vibe. I like it seemed very real and authentic.
Quite chilled, wasn't it? Quite chill for a morning show. Yeah, they weren't screaming, and I think you're spot on, Tracy. They're not begging for your attention. They're not being needy. They're just, we're here. And
I agree with you, Dusty, as well, saying like, text me now. We're hearing too much of that, and they don't do that. It's a nice vibe going on with it, nice and relaxed.
All right, so thumbs up for the morning show from More FM.
Thumbs up.
Well done, guys. We like New Zealand people. Okay, let's go to number 3 now. All right, we're back, and just before we listen to our third piece of audio, Tracy, you're all about the Dutch stations as well, and what we can learn from these guys in the Netherlands, yeah?
Yeah, one thing I really like that the Dutch are doing right now is the wraparound mics. They have we were looking at a video recently in the studio, and we were like, where's the mics gone? There's no mics. And we looked closely, and they had these wraparound mics, skin-coloured wraparound mics, and they were able to go around the studio, move around, do lots of stuff that you can't really do when you're stationary against a microphone.
Yeah.
And it just looked really good.
It looks super cool, but also...
I'll have to share that video.
Yeah, also, as you say, though, it frees you up. You can move around the studio. Like, you've got a mic in front of you. That's your Shure SM thingamajiggy, what you would call it, in front of you, yeah? They don't have... None of them. No static mic. It's the little wraparound like you get on TED Talks, that kind of thing, and they're walking around the studio with it if they want to. If they don't want it, they don't have to. But... the only thing I didn't like about it was I'm a big sucker for that whole going off mic thing. I always love that effect, that old classic. I'm just going back here. You can't do it unless you pop this thing off your face. You can't do it. There, that's a different deal. All right, shall we go into the third of the three? This is Capital FM in the UK, and this is Amy Vivian on Middays. Short enough link, this one.
Swedish House Mafia on Capital. So this morning, Natalie Portman, Tessa Thompson were on Capital Breakfast with Roman Kemp. They were talking all about the new Thor movie. And Chris Hemsworth is actually quite the gentleman,
We had a kiss scene. He didn't eat meat that morning because I'm vegan.
Oh,
and
that's
he eats
so
meat
cute.
like every half hour.
Yeah, he does.
Like, that was so thoughtful.
Yeah, I thought it was thoughtful until producer Luke just pointed out that you never really do think about what someone's eating before you kiss them, don't you? It's kind of gross, actually. Ew, tuna for lunch. Oh, no, I'm not even thinking about it. Hey, has anyone not eaten their favourite food for you before a kiss? Is it sweet? Maybe they've done something else for you. Can hit me up, 83958, while I drop this for you. Calvin, Dewar and Potion.
All right, let's go ladies first on this one. Tracey, what do you think?
Oh, okay. Well, I am a fan of Amy Vivian anyway. She's nice, she's tight, she's fresh. She's got that huskiness in her voice, which I really, really like. And she's also kind of really trendy, really with her words, the way she uses her words. She's just really kind of smooth and, chilled. And I like her. She's got that nice, bouncy kind of energy. And it's really hard, for females on stations like that, on CHRs, to be that kind of energetic, because they can be too shouty sometimes and too high-pitched. So she has that nice level in her voice that just kind of suits that station.
Those deep tones.
I like her.
She's got that deep tone that's always attractive in the voice. I was afraid she was...
me, Nails. I'm always looking out for a good female.
I'm well aware.
Jock out there.
I'm well aware.
She kind of fits the style.
I was afraid she was going to play lots of audio there from the morning show. I thought, oh no, it's going to be a 1 minute break. It's just a promo for the audio show, the morning show, but it wasn't. Dusty, what do you reckon to the Amy Vivian in Capital? She's doing very well. Capital UK, national now, right? So she's doing well.
Yeah. Capital is a great station, always was a great station. I love the way she brought in the topic. I love the way that she had just a short clip, and I love the way she did the whole question about, kind of, do you think about what a person's eating before you kiss them? And then she was like, send us a text. It would have been so cool, right? It would have been so cool if she literally went, do you ever think about, what somebody is eating before they kissed you? Sharon. And then go to a caller, just and a clip kind of guy. Oh, God, I had a guy once and he just ate, well, whatever the comment might happen to be. And it'd be so easy for her to do, because when you're taking calls at the radio station, and you just bring that into conversation. Hey, how you doing? What song do you want to hear? Hey, listen, can I ask you a question? Do you ever wonder what people eat before you kiss them? And you'll get at least one good response to that, and it would have been absolutely brilliant. Or to do that maybe 5 or 10 minutes later. Do you know what I mean? But
I learned that years ago in Vancouver. There was an air show, and I was on air of the day of the air show, and I opened the light on Z95. The Z95.3, the Abbotsford air show's on. If you're on it, let me know. Yay! Nothing. No phone calls, nothing. I was like, oh no, it's so embarrassing. And on the Aircheck, the program director at the time said exactly what you said. He said, an hour before you do that bit, take your callers and go, hey, were you at the Abbotsford Air Show? No, yes, whatever. You'll get one. And there's your call. It's banked. You're ready to go. So it's an excellent point. And that was 15, 20 years ago, and it still holds true today. Certain things still hold true. Vinny, what do you reckon?
You know, it's funny, Dusty. You got me thinking of my drive days. When I did drive, I had a little bit more time in between my talk breaks, and I used to have a lot of conversations with people off the air. And you're able to shoot the crap about 3, 4, 5 minutes. Hey, and then like you said, use 5 seconds, 10 seconds. You can even alter the calls a little bit, take the front. Oh, let me put that first. And, I just need those 2 seconds. Doing mornings now, we don't get that freedom. So being a midday host, you have a bit more freedom to get the type of responses you want. And I'm with you. I think she has a great sound. I like how she casually mentions Capital.
Yeah.
Swedish House Moth Capital, moves on. We know who she is. Clip is short. Ask the question. And I would have loved to hear some sort of short soundbite. A call would have been great, 3-4 seconds. Intro the song on Capital, which she didn't mention at the end, but she mentioned at least.
That whole station ID at the end is gone. It's not as big. Yeah. It's just not a thing anymore. You can do it. You don't have to do it. I remember, Dusty, you remember it was beaten into us as kids. First thing out of your mouth going into an ad break, last thing out of your mouth going into a song was your station ID. It's like you can do it, you don't do it. I mean, is there a rule about that now anywhere? Or I know it's up to each station, each programmer, I get that, but it doesn't seem to be anything in particular.
Well, I think a lot of research shows that people will listen to 1 or 2 radio stations, and they generally know from who I think radio has changed in that 20 or 30 years ago, radio was all about music. It was music delivery, because where else did you get music on demand?
We were the only show in town. That was it.
We were the only show in town. Whereas now, radio is the last show in town when it comes to music on demand. So it's all about kind of the content in between the records, which I actually think is brilliant, because it makes us work harder and to be doing that stuff and to be company and to be. I love the way the radio. You see this in research groups all the time. Like, why do you listen to the radio? And as a jock, you're waiting to be entertained, to hear all those fabulous people. I love his voice. It's amazing. They go, I just want to hear some sound in the house so that I don't feel like I'm alone.
Oh, great. So maybe Carter in our first link has it right. Just be there. Just be a noise. No. I don't agree with that either. No, you don't be a noise. But if you can actually come in, all right, and in whatever, 10 or 30 seconds, you can say something that makes people go, or maybe even, smile. Or maybe even they know something about the world around them. Job's done. Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah. And that comes back to, are they listeners or are they sort of pay attentioners? What are they? Are they actually listening? Like to the morning show has got a good chance of listening, and late night. They're the two, as far as I'm concerned, they're the 2 times. And 20 minutes in drive when we're punching stations. But as we know, most drive people in their cars are listening to news and talk. They want to get what happened today. What happened?
Information.
Yeah. You saw that, Tracey, recently, that research about that's what people are aiming for. They want the first thing they go for is information. That's what they want. And that could be just the weather. It's going to be snowing today, it's going to be sunny today, whatever.
Surprisingly, one of the big formats that's coming up the ranks now is dance music. And we've realised through Radio Star that, we've asked some of the top 25 what they want to do. And dance radio seems to be, Capital Dance seems to be the big one.
Radio 1 Dance
station. Yeah. So dance music, I think after COVID, people just want to dance and have fun, and that vibe, that happy vibe is coming out now.
Now, one of my favourite radio memories, I was on a trip to Florida, driving around, listening, just flipping around all the radio stations to see what they were doing. And I think a lunchtime feature was this radio station, and they were beat mixing tunes.
Wow.
Okay, so it was just a non-stop like a nightclub or whatever, and they were well-known tunes and lots of lyrics and stuff. It wasn't like a dance nightclub kind of a vibe, but they were just beat mixing all the tunes, and then in between the songs, they took calls. I was like, hey man, what are you doing for lunch today? Oh, I'm doing such and such, and blah, blah, blah. What do you want to hear? I want to hear such and such. Bam, into the vocal. He was mixing it. Wow.
I'd listen to that.
Love that.
I would listen to that.
There's a place for it.
But it sounded great, and the energy and the flow was amazing. And because I always pre-record my calls before I put them on air, and somebody said that to me once. They said, I love the way you're playing the song before they even ask for it.
Yeah. Right to the vocal.
Yeah, what would you like to hear? It's currently playing. Yeah. Nice one.
Who cares? It's show business.
Yeah, no, totally agree. All right, so we're all thumbs up for Amy Vivian and Capital. We all think Aidan's not going out of the park. and her TikTok is rocking it as well. She gets big views on TikTok. She's a massive TikTok. Do we all use, Vinny? Do you use TikTok? Do you use anything like that?
I use TikTok. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I don't. It's funny. I do a lot of marriage relationship content, just
naturally
stuff,
and
make people laugh. And I take that into my show too, and it kind of works.
So you do your life. You do your life basically on TikTok and reflect it back to them, kind of thing, is it?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Nice one. All right, cool, guys. Thanks so much for joining us, Vinny. Where do we find you besides on Virgin Montreal? Where do we find you online?
Cousin Vinny MTL, all my socials, Instagram, TikTok, and everyday Montreal.virginradio.ca in the morning.
Nice one. And I'm not just saying this, but you know I'm a big fan. We're both a big fan of Virgin in Montreal, and especially yourself. Dusty, where do we find you, my man, besides on the screen here?
Well, podcast is my game at the moment, and the company creates podcasts for brands. You can find more at dustpod.io.
Dustpod.io. And Tracey, I think we might find you at onaircoach.net. I have a funny feeling
you can find me next door.
Yeah, next door. Working on Radio Star 2022. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate you being part of the Aircheck Room.
Thank you.
So thanks so much for watching the Aircheck Room. Make sure you subscribe, ding, 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 click the bell, do all that stuff. You'll find us on youtube.com/onaircoach. And also the audio that you heard will be on our SoundCloud page, soundcloud.com/onaircoach. And we're starting a Patreon page as well. So if you would like to see bonus content, or if you would like a personal Aircheck yourself from the Aircheck Room, go into the Patreon page. The link is at the bottom, and we'll see you in there. Till next time.
Thank you.